Welcome to the Builders of Authority podcast, a show committed to helping you build authority for your brand. In the realm of business and personal branding, authority stands as a cornerstone. Authority isn't built overnight, it's built over time. So join us as we build something remarkable together. And now, here's your host, Adam McChesney.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Builders of Authority podcast. Our title sponsor for the podcast is Go High Level, also known as GHL. GHL is the first ever all-in-one platform that gives you the tools, support, and resources you need to succeed and crush your marketing goals. Personally, I've used this software since 2020, and it's been a game changer for my business and our clients. If you are looking to level up your CRM and marketing game, then this is the platform to use. You can find a link for a free and extended 30-day trial with tons of Builders of Authority bonuses in the show notes. So take advantage of this opportunity to adopt the amazing software and grow your business. Today, we have a solo episode coming to you that's going to help you prepare for 2025. So this episode is being recorded here in December, but will air on Thursday, January the 2nd. So if you are now hearing this episode and you haven't planned for 2025, unfortunately, you are a little bit behind the ball, but it's not too late. You still have a chance to do it. So we're going to go over some different things on how I would recommend, both from a personal and a business standpoint, preparing for 2025, but also reflecting on 2024. And so both in business and in personal goals, life, etc., I always like to take an inventory at the end of the year of where I finished and where I grew versus where I started in 2024. And I think a lot of people want to just move on to the next year and they want to start planning, but they don't do a great job, or I should say an effective job, at really auditing and taking an inventory of where they came from. And so I'll explain a little bit about what I mean by that here in just a second. But so much of what we can improve on in 2025 comes from the baseline of 2024. So taking a look from a business or a personal standpoint on what you accomplished, start with that, right? I think so often we want to take a look at what didn't go well. In 2024 was a year for a lot of people in business that was a struggle. The last couple of years after COVID have really been basically a shot in the dark, sometimes up, sometimes down, for a lot of different industries. And so much is changing with AI and technology and marketing and advertising and just business as a whole. And so if you aren't going back and taking a look at the things that did go well and only focusing on some of the losses and where you struggled, you're not going to get the full grasp of some of this stuff. So from a standpoint of taking a look at 2024, taking a look at top line revenue, taking a look at profit, taking a look at your current clients, taking a look at projects, expenses, all of those different things, team members who you lost along the way, whether that was clients or team members, and then really saying, okay, so my goal was 1 million in 2024 and we did 800,000. So I took a look at, for example, on the business side, how many leads I got, how many of those leads I closed, what my average ticket was, what my lifetime value of my client is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm saying, okay, but I really want to go to 1.5 here in 2025. So I need to know my KPIs. I need to know my numbers. So then that way I can say, this is what I need in 2025. This is how many leads I need. This is what my closing rate needs to be. This is what my average ticket needs to be. This is how long I need to keep that client. And so take a look at what happened in 2024 to give you the ability to actually plan for 2025. Don't just go with a blindfold on, throwing a dart at a dartboard and hoping that you are ultimately going to get where you are trying to go, because it's unlikely that that's going to happen. And if you do end up getting where you tried to go, I would say you're probably the anomaly to the situation. Myself included, I really started planning effectively back in 2022, but kind of started that process in 2021. And in 2021, I grew a ton. 2022, I grew a lot as well, but I didn't plan as well as I do now. And so sometimes, right, you can get lucky, and especially when you're early on in business and you can just grow to grow, but you're not growing in some of the proper ways. So taking a look at 2025, I always recommend, or any new year in general, I always taking a look at a specific word that I can hold on to, that I can focus on, to be able to have as basically my theme for the year. So if you haven't picked a word yet, I highly recommend that you do that. And so this year was a little bit interesting because I did it with our team as well. So I had all of our team members pick an individual word that they wanted for themselves for the year. I picked my word, and then we picked a word together collectively for the business. Now, for me, there's a lot of synergy in between the two words that I picked, which I'll explain here in a second. But my word personally for 2025 is optimize. So what that means to me is I've had a lot of changes this year, both personally and professionally, and I want to get back to foundational stuff. I want to get back to square one on a lot of stuff. I want to take what works and do more of it, and stop what hasn't necessarily worked. And I believe optimizing all areas of my life and having that work-life harmony is going to be a big aspect for me heading into 2025. So I'm very excited about that. Some of the things that I'm changing is a lot less travel, a lot less complexity, I guess you could say, with a lot of different things, and only focusing on builders of authority. No other stuff, no partnering with other companies. Like literally builders of authority is where we are heading. Obviously, I have the Auto Glass Company, the Christmas light stuff, a lot of the other joint ventures, but I'm not in the day-to-day in those businesses. So that is my word for 2025, optimize. Now, the word that we decided collectively as a company to choose for 2025 is structure. So we've grown, we've surpassed basically what I thought we were going to be able to do in 2024. We've added a lot of new team members. We've done great at providing results for our clients, especially on the digital marketing side of things, as we've grown up to now about 30 clients. But now we're kind of focused on, again, quality over quantity of everything. So our processes and systems, our SOPs, our team members, the clients that we're currently working with. We're really taking Q1 in 2025 as a whole to build and rebuild the structure. So that way, when we decide, and if we decide we want to continue to grow in certain areas from more clients or more team members, we have a very, very solid foundation. So it was really cool to pick a word together as a team. And I think structure and optimize work really, really well together. So if you don't have or don't pick a word for the year, I highly encourage you to do so. It's given me, I would say, of the last 4 years that I've done it, I would say there was probably 3 of the 4 years where I was super aligned with that word throughout the year, and it helped guide me through a lot of my decisions. So going on from there, I would recommend that you do an exercise, and you do this exercise, which is called stop, start, and continue. Also can be known as the Eisenhower metrics, more in, I would say, probably the business focus, which is basically where you're prioritizing your tasks or things that you're doing on a daily basis, and essentially figuring out if it's urgent, not urgent, if you need to continue doing it, stop doing it, delegate it to somebody else, or just completely get away with it, or you need to schedule it out, or if you need to take care of it right now. But I think start, stop, and continue, or stop, start, and continue, however you want to phrase it, is a solid exercise for both personal and professional stuff. So essentially what that means is you're going to take a look on the business and personal side, and you're going to say, hey, what am I doing right now that I just have to stop? Like, no questions asked. Based on where I was at in 2024, now I know where I'm going in 2025. I need to stop this because it's not helping me push forward. It's not helping me reach my goals. It doesn't align with my word or words for the year, and I just need to stop that. Then you take a look at what are some things that I need to start doing. Maybe I need to eat healthier. Maybe I need to go to the gym. Maybe I need to start meeting consistently with my team members or doing some different aspect. I need to start cold calling. I need to start doing something that I'm not currently doing right now. And so that's going to help you close the gap on where you finished in 2024 and where you need to go in 2025. And then there's going to be the stuff that you obviously want to continue, right? Where you take a look and you're like, hey, this helped me get to where I'm at right now. It is going to help continue to get me to where I'm trying to go further down the line. So stop, start, and continue. I recommend you doing that exercise for both the business and your personal life. When it comes to planning for yourself in 2025, so I like to, again, do some of those exercises, pick a word for the year, kind of take an inventory of where I was at as an individual in 2024 and write out more stuff for 2025. This will be the first year that I'm kind of doing a full year planning where I got the Jesse Itzler, I think it's called like the big ass calendar, got that ready to go. I'm recording this the week before Christmas, the week in between Christmas and New Year's when I'm planning out literally the entire year. But planning for myself, right, both personal and in business. And I'm very excited about doing that, which kind of leads into the family stuff. So making sure that I'm planning vacations and making sure I have everybody's birthdays and other things that we have going on the calendar. So that way I can reverse engineer and prioritize, again, what's going to be most important heading into this new year, and making sure that family and friends are on board with it, and that I'm not just, hey, I'm planning all of this stuff, this is what we're going to do, and then not taking into consideration some of the things that they want to do and what we already have planned. And then planning with your team, right? So as I just mentioned, we had our meeting earlier this week. We basically did it almost an entire day. We met remotely and just took a look at Q4 as a whole. We took a look at 2024 as a whole, and then really started to take a look at Q1 in 2025. So we really focused on the year as a whole of where we're trying to go from our growth goals and what we're trying to do. We're basically trying to double next year, but do it with less clients and obviously a lot more profit without having to double the amount of team members. And so with that, we started reverse engineering. Well, what does Q1 look like? Where are we going to need to be in Q2, Q3, and Q4? And then we broke it down to just let's plan for Q1 with everybody having their own individual rocks. So if you're familiar with EOS and the Entrepreneurial Operating System, if you're not, go ahead and read the book Traction. It's an incredible system to run your business on. But all of us from the top down picked anywhere from 2 to 3 rocks that we're basically going to have as our goals for Q1. And then we had a list of about 20 initiatives that collectively one person on our team is owning. And there's a couple supporting members in there as well. And so I like to have big overarching goals for revenue and a massive project. And then in there, right, we have initiatives. And it's really important that only one person owns a rock and that only one person owns an initiative, but you need to know who's going to be helping push that forward. So that way, if and when there is success, that person gets rewarded. We know who is the quarterback on that. And then if it doesn't, we know, hey, who do we need to go to that's basically taking ownership of a lot of this stuff? And that was a lesson that we learned a lot this year. We have an incredible team with some amazing team members that everybody really wants to help and take ownership. But if everybody is taking ownership and everything is important to everyone, then really nobody has ownership and nothing is really important. So going to go in a little bit and talk about what we have planned for 2025. So as I mentioned, our goal is to basically double. We're bringing on a couple new team members, excited about building out the structure and the foundation for the next level, the next base camp of growth. So with that, we are bringing on more digital marketing clients. So if you're somebody that is looking for a new website, search engine optimization and Google Business Profile services, or paid ads on Google or Facebook, heading into 2025, let's have a conversation. Feel free to reach out. We are getting some incredible results. We're leveraging some amazing things with AI and just some SEO content and technology, and doing it on a very, again, quality driven with some quantity behind it basis for our clients. So excited to share some results and some things like that with you if you're interested in having a conversation. And if it's not going to be a good fit, I'll certainly tell you that too. I'll tell you where to go. I'll tell you what to do. I'll tell you exactly what I would do if I were in your shoes. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people have appreciated it as we've relaunched. We've turned down a lot more people than we've accepted on to become clients, just because we're not trying to work with anybody and everybody. That's where our mastermind with Builders of Authority has really been a nice opportunity for people to come in, get access at a very nominal monthly fee or yearly fee. But you get access to multiple calls a week where we teach on personal branding, we teach you digital marketing, and we teach you go high level and SaaS stuff as well, to help you get to a point, whether you're trying to do this internally or you have an employee that wants to do it, or you just want to learn more about it, right? Before you go and hire a marketing agency, or if you're working with a marketing agency and you just want to know what's actually happening, that's where we're providing a bunch of resources and guidance. So we kind of have a tier for literally every business based on where they're at, the mastermind being kind of our ocean, if you will, and the agency being our little pond in our backyard for the right people. So talking a little bit about what I'm most excited about, I think I'm most excited about the clients that we're currently working with and some of the people that we're talking to is just some incredible opportunities that are coming to fruition that have been worked on with years and years of relationships, and it's the right time for us. It's the right time for them. We have an amazing team and only going to be continue adding that, just the people that are reaching out every time we have a job posting or talking about it, the reputation of the mastermind and of our digital marketing agency and our team just continues to evolve. And so I'm excited about being able to continue to grow with awesome people, right? And it's the most excited I've ever been in business. It's been a crazy year for myself. If you've listened to the podcast or if you've been following me on social media, you know a lot about that. But there's just so much awesome stuff that I'm really excited to get past 2024 and head into 2025. I think for a lot of people, 2024 was a year that they won't be sad it's gone. You know, I hate the idea of wishing time away, but I'm definitely looking forward to just having it as a past chapter in my book, and going into 2025 with full steam ahead, and getting back to that alignment, that structure, that optimization for me personally with my own health and fitness, spending more time with my family when I am traveling, either making sure that they're there with me or taking more family vacations, and just taking an inventory of really what I don't want, anymore in my life, as I've kind of had some success and seen some things, and then also know who I don't need around anymore for one reason or another. Want to talk a little bit about what I'm also, scared about as well. I think a lot of people only want to talk about what they're excited about planning for a new year. Some of the things I'm personally, just scared about in general is, again, kind of growing too fast. This is the second time we've now grown an agency. Where we're at right now, it took us half the time to do this time. And so and we could even have grown faster than where we're at right now, but I've had to continually remind myself, like, we are doing things differently, and it's always exciting. Growth is making more money, like taking on more clients, having more success, being in the spotlight more, right? Speaking at more events, just all of that stuff, I think is exciting. But I've even said way more already to speaking events in 2025, which is a great thing. It's also a scary thing, right? So scary thing being that, hey, when I go to these events, I'm typically meeting and seeing my clients. I'm having better conversations, connecting with referral partners, and creating more partnerships, and obviously generating leads. So that is something that I'm paying very close attention to, and trying to figure out, what that balance is, right? I think 2025 is going to be a massive year, taking a step back in a variety of different instances for massive steps forward in the future. So that all in and of itself is very scary. And, obviously some things that I want to focus on and pay attention to, and I would recommend you do the same, is obviously technology, AI, and software, right? So some things I believe are going to be drastically changing. You're already seeing, search AI with ChatGPT and some of the other chat or AI specific tools. I think a lot is going to change. And I think anybody that's saying, hey, this is where it's going, or I can guarantee you're going to want to focus on this, I think everybody at this point is just kind of guessing. So it's going to be a year where you're really going going to want to educate yourself and learn. And that's why I'm so excited about what we have going on in Builders of Authority. So if you're interested in joining our mastermind, you can head over to buildauthority.co. You can see all the different stuff we have going on. We are going to be revamping our website here very soon as well, which I'm excited to be able to do that. And just wanted to put this episode together solo to kick off the year in an awesome way. I appreciate everybody that listened to all of our stuff, the people that have been listening since 2022, the people that just started listening to us in 2024, and to all of you new folks that may be listening for the first time and or come back to this episode as you want to come back in 2025. And it's never too late to change. It's never too late to prepare and plan and do all those different things. If you're listening to this episode later in 2025, then when it just comes out, just know you don't need a new year to change things up. But a new year is a great time to be able to do this, right? I always say you don't need to wait until Monday or the next day or the one day. Take a step forward right now. But if you're listening to this episode and you need that extra push, hopefully provided you some sort of guidance or opportunity to learn and educate yourself a little bit more. Thank you again to our amazing title sponsor, Go High Level. Without them, we aren't able to produce the quality of content like we did here today. Check out a free and extended 30-day trial in the show notes. Make sure as well to leave us a 5-star review. Share this episode with somebody you think that needs to hear it, and we will see you next week. Remember, authority isn't built overnight, it's built over time.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. We sure do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you consume podcasts. This way you'll get notifications as new episodes become available. If you feel so inclined, please leave us a review. We sure do appreciate it. Until next time, friends.